Okay, hi there, guys. For anyone who's tuning in to the talk about the DCU Global Business course, so I am just going to get started. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. Okay. If you can't hear me, okay, please do put a chat into the live chat so that I know that you can't hear me. But hopefully, everyone can hear me. So I'm just going to get started on my presentation. I'm going to share it, just so that you're aware there is the live chat function so that you can ask any questions throughout the presentation. So feel free if you've got any questions to ask that, or also after the presentation, you can also always chat to me through UniBuddy, the platform that us student ambassadors are on. So I'm just going to get started by sharing my screen. Slideshow. Perfect. So today the presentation I'll be giving is on the DCU School of Business's course, Global Business. And Global Business is a Bachelor's of Arts, and you can do it with Canada, France, Germany, Spain, or USA. They're all separate courses like CAO codes. So again, I'll touch on that briefly later on in the presentation. But just to tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm Clodagh, I'm from Dublin, so I'm based in Dublin, and I'm studying Global Business France. That's the stream that I'm studying in Global Business, and I'm in my second year of this degree. And actually at present, I'm not in DCU anymore because I'm out on intra, so I've been in work all day, and yeah, so I'm doing my intra placement, which again, I'll touch on a little bit further on in the presentation. And so that's just an introduction about me. So a lot of the time, I know myself when I was looking at different courses in transition year, fifth year, sixth year, one of the big kind of questions I asked other people, why did they pick their courses? So what in the end, why did I choose my degree? I really enjoyed French in school, so that was a really, really big aspect for me. I spent a few weeks in Nice, France. So that was after TY, and I loved that. So you can see that's lots of pictures there from my time in France. I loved those 3 weeks that I had in France. And so I knew that I really liked French, but I also knew that I didn't really want to study French as an art subject alone. And so I had to think about how I could work into studying it with something else. And at that point, I probably wasn't really aware of Global Business France. I also did a number of work experiences in TY. So I did placement in PwC, which is one of the big four accountancy firms. I did a week in Monday Asset Management, which is again all kind of finance. And then I did a week in Concern and NGO, which I also really enjoyed. And I was kind of in the back of my head, I was thinking, languages will tie in with that kind of work, because languages are really important. Often, if you'd like to work in kind of NGOs that do humanitarian work all around the world. Another thing I thought about was who could I talk to about different degrees. So I actually have a second cousin who graduated recently from this degree, and it really, really helped talking to him. It gave me a lot of insight. I was able to ask him, why did he pick the degree and why did he pick it over other courses that I was also considering? And yeah, it was really, really helpful. And from talking to him, it became very obvious to me that there's a lot of pros of this degree over other business and language degrees, which again, I'll touch on later on. And yeah, speaking to him really reinforced the importance and the benefit of having a language when you're looking for work. So it's not a must, of course, but yeah, there's lots of business graduates out there is what I would say, and you want to try and make yourself stand out. So for me, I thought having language would be really helpful, and I know I've spoken to several people who have graduated and gone on to work in different places, and they've said several times that in interviews and in application processes, having a language they know has really stood out and helped them to stand out, and employers have commented on that. So in the end, the reason why I chose this degree and this course was because I really liked the dual aspect. So I liked the idea of getting to live in France and also getting to learn completely through French for 2 years. So I will be studying completely through French when I go to France in September, and for my year 3 and year 4. I also really wanted the opportunity to do an intra work placement, and so that's an internship basically. So going into a company, and you get to do 2 of those in this course, which is very unique for a business course. So it means that you get the opportunity to do something in second year, and then you'll either really like it and do maybe something similar again in your second one, or you decide it's not really for you and you'll go and try out something different. So that's really, really unique. Just in terms of the differences between global business and international business studies, and so there are differences, and the main differences being that you get a degree from 2 universities, so DCU and the partner university, when you are doing global business, whereas international business is just the 1 degree. And so there's that difference. And then you go abroad for 2 years when you're doing global business, whereas when you're doing international businesses, you're just abroad for the 1 year, and then you graduate with the 2 degrees. That is the big difference, that you graduate for the 2 degrees, that you go abroad for 2 years, and that you get to do 2 interplacements. So an interplacement, an internship in Ireland, and then an internship in the partner country. And so there's a broad range of kind of modules that touch on anything and everything in this course in business. So there's nothing too specific. And so don't worry too much about having specific knowledge in any of the kind of areas of business, because they kind of give you an introduction to absolutely everything. So I wouldn't worry at all about that. You don't need to have prior experience in accounting, economics, business, because you don't need to study those at leaving cert level to do this course at all. So it's just really important to note that you don't need to have any prior experience in that. And then in second year, we kind of continue on with those business modules kind of at a more advanced stage. And then we go and do intra, which is our internship for our second semester. And then when you go abroad, everyone kind of tends to do different modules and specializations in third and fourth year, depending on kind of the university you're going to and what they offer. So it can vary from country to country. What people go on to do after this course is really, really varied. So one example is Ashley McDonald. She's a graduate from Global Business and French in 2015, and she went on to do a master's in luxury management. So she's doing luxury management with regards to fashion. So the business side of luxury fashion, managing all of that. She does a lot of digital kind of strategy and campaigns. It's a really cool career that she has. She lives in Geneva and she's jet setting around the world all the time. And then people want to do jobs in all sorts of areas. And, you know, you could go into kind of the more financy stuff in PwC or Deloitte, kind of accountancy, finance. Some people go into AIB, banking, Twitter, Google, Facebook, you name it. People are in all sorts of different things. So there's a broad range of different things there. And then some people obviously go straight into working. They might go do a graduate program. Other people might go and do a master's for 1 year because they want to specialize in a more specific area of business. So that is totally up to you what you want to do. In terms of how I'm finding the course so far, I really like it. I really like it in the language modules. We have really small classes, which is great. And then there's a good mix of lecture sizes. So you've got some big lectures with lots of different first years, for example, in first year, and then you've got smaller ones, just global business students. There is a lot of work. I'm not, going to pretend there isn't. And because we're there for a shorter amount of time, I think that we do tend to do a little bit more hours, but it's not undoable. You still have lots of spare time. So for me, I do a lot of grinds and work with students who are doing French, and I also work for study clerks, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with. And then I still don't have an exact clear idea of what I want to do afterwards, but I'm not worrying too much about that because really time is on my side in the long term. So for you guys, if you're only in sixth year, I wouldn't be worrying at all about knowing what you want to do. Just think about a course that you'll enjoy for a few years. In terms of like kind of life in DCU, you've got loads of different things. You've got so many clubs and societies to get involved in. If you want to get involved in things like accounting and finance and the Enterprise Society, which are more business focused, there's a Global Business Society, or else you might just want to get involved in other societies like the DCU Harry Potter Society. There's the Media Production Society, which do loads of really cool things. DCU Star run a massive big fashion show every year that you can get involved in by modelling in it or working behind the scenes. And so college is definitely more than just the course itself. So definitely, there's a great element of that in DCU. It's got a real community feel about it. What I would say is about DCU is that, overall, it's not too big, it's not too small. It's kind of how I describe the university. It's big, there's lots of different faculties, and the business school is a big faculty. But, campus-wise, it's not the biggest of campuses, which I really liked during my time there. So I'm already finished. So like I said, at present, I am in DCU's intra stage for global business. So I am in PwC at the moment, interning. I started last Monday, and so there's a good few of us in there. And then there's people also in there's people in all sorts of different companies. So some have gone to Deloitte, which is obviously accountancy as well. Other people are going into kind of more marketing, and so everyone's really enjoying that. Some have only just started. We started last week. So that's really great. I think that you get to go and actually work in a company, because that's really important to see what it's like to work out in a business in the real world. So that is it. If you have any questions, I know there's been problems and stuff with my connection, unfortunately. Technology is reliable as ever. But if you have any questions, do feel free to get in touch with me through Unibuddy. So I'm on that platform all the time. And so just drop me a message there. It might take me a day or two to get back to you because I am working full time at the moment with my internship, and I'm doing assurance auditing, and it's kind of busy season, so we're being thrown right into the deep end. But do feel free to get in touch if you have any questions at all about this course right up until June. Yeah, just ask any questions at all, talk to me as much as you want to. And that was how I learned a lot about this course, was talking to my own second cousin who did this course. So if you can talk to people for the courses that you're interested in, I would really recommend you do that, because it's really important to get a feel for what the course is like from somebody who's actually done it, and not just kind of what it says on paper about the course. So yeah, I couldn't recommend this course enough. I'm only a week into my first internship and I'm loving it already. And I've no doubt that I'll really love going abroad too. And from the people I know in Germany, Spain, USA, Canada, the different streams, everyone's really enjoying it. So it really is a great degree, and it's incredibly unique that you get 2 degrees, 2 internships, and study in 2 different countries. So it's fast paced. You do a lot of different things, and you don't really get to settle and stay in one place that long, and then you're up on the move again. But yeah, I would highly recommend it to someone who's interested in business, but maybe slightly different with a language or a global aspect if you do want to see USA or Canada. So yeah, get in touch at all. If you've got any questions at all, you can do that through Unibuddy, and I will get back to you as soon as I can.